Hey everyone, Grandflakes here, back with a new Duels of Eden video. This video won't be edited at all, so if I have any ticks or whatever, they'll all be in here. But it takes a bit to, go into the DaVinci Resolve and up the audio and then re-export it and then upload. So I decided to just cut that out and do a really quick video because I want to talk about how I make decks and how I think you should approach making decks and learning a deck that you've seen in a video or a different player or whatever. And so my audio's gonna be a bit different. Some things might be a bit weird, and there won't be an intro and outro, but hopefully you don't mind. And yeah, we'll just jump right into it so I can get my point across, and then you guys can go on with your day or night. So, anyways, the reason why I wanted to make this video was because I saw somebody on a friend's stream running a deck that I haven't ran in a while, but they were running a deck that I recognized because it was a deck that I played a few weeks ago, and I made a stream on it, I made a video on it, and or had a stream review on it. And so I was like, oh, like I can see that they're playing it. And they weren't playing it poorly, but there were a lot of small things that I did when I was playing that they didn't do themselves. So I'll go ahead and remake the deck here. I'm pretty sure it was this deck. And so I'll go ahead and explain why the deck works this way and how you guys can kind of like recreate my thought process with making it and how you guys can recreate the labbing that I put into those decks. So the very first thing I want to talk about is this package at the very top. Step Slash, Auto Slash, Thunder are all very, very strong cards, and I don't want to go into all the tech that's available, but I want to go through the things that I do whenever I try and add a new card. And so the reason why this package is really, really strong is mostly because all three of these spells combo into each other, and they all provide very good coverage. Obviously, Step Slash covers the entire map. Push Slash covers the very front columns very easily, and obviously if you have Step Slash, it now covers the back columns as well. And then Auto Slash is just very good because it tracks your opponent from everywhere. It combos very easily off of Step Slash. And combined with Push Slash, it's a 13 damage combo for 3, which is very good. And then most importantly on Saffron, it combos off of your Sparkler. And so that way you can get a lot of silly combos. So for example, I can do Sparkler into Step Slash, Push Slash, and then that's a good combo right there. A bit mana inefficient, but it's a very decent combo to do. If you're chasing your opponent around, like up and down, and you see them stop at the very bottom, and you're like, okay, I think I see my opponent stop at the bottom enough to punish them for it, or at the very top, you can like throw it out and then just smack them around a bit. And so Auto Slash is usually a very dangerous card to throw out. You can see that like here, it is a bit fast, but it's not super fast. And so your opponent can actually run forward while you're stepping and then punish you for making the step, right? If they're really quick with it. And so obviously with Sparkler, you can really mitigate that weakness with Saffron, and that's why I like it there. And so every spell that Saffron puts in her deck, in my opinion, should revolve around these three cards. It should at least either be something that's benefiting off of Step Slash and Auto Slash, or something that can combo off of Push Slash, or it could even just be everything in between. And so because of that, the card that I always love putting in Saffron decks is going to be Thunder. Thunder isn't always going to be the greatest. Obviously, if I have Step Slash and my opponent's in the first column, Thunder's never going to hit. That's totally fine, just because I think Thunder is really valuable in a lot of other places. You can Sparkler into it, you can do Weak Hit into it, you can do Strong W2 hit into it. And so these are all things that I test out when I'm putting a new card into the decks to see like, oh, like how flexible is it off my weapons if my cards don't really support it that well. Obviously, if they're on column 3, then you can always Auto Slash into it. You can always Push Slash into it. You see that's 4 mana for 20 damage, which isn't too bad. And then if they're in the front row, anything with Step Slash is that you can do Step Slash, Push Slash into the Thunder. So you can see here that that's also a combo. So because of all these interactions that Thunder has with Step Slash, Push Slash, Auto Slash, I, for one, always put it in. The other card that's also a 4-way is Magic Claw. Now, Magic Claw isn't as good as Thunder because not only is it significantly slower when it comes out, it costs way more mana, and it's a lot harder to... It's a lot harder to land raw. Like Thunder comes out super fast, and so you can hit it raw really easily. But Magic Claw, you have to get these weird angles, and this is the next part of testing that you have to understand. When you have a card that isn't really easy to hit like the sweet spot really easily, you're gonna have to test how it works with these sour spots. So that's what I did with Magic Claw. And so if you're using Magic Claw, you have to understand, okay, it's really slow at the center and at the bottom hitboxes, but it's super fast at the top hitboxes. So if I'm gonna be trying to burn it because I'm not sure if I can actually, let's say that you used Step Slash, you used Push Slash already, right? And you're not confident going for Sparklers into the sweet spot because again, Magic Claw is super expensive compared to Thunder. So if you're thinking about adding Magic Claw to your deck, you have to understand how it works on the off angles or off the side hits. So you have to understand, okay, if I'm going for the low risk burn option, then I always want to be below my opponent, and I always want to hit these 3-ways and 5-ways. And the issue with these angles is that you're never getting a combo off of them, unless it's like a very niche. Like, even that's shieldable, right? But that is a combo you can do. So if you have Magic Claw, you can see Push Slash, you can see, okay, I see an angle here where I can try and hit them from this off angle and then Push Slash them, and they might not expect it, so I might punch them for that. Same thing with this other hitbox, where it's like, okay, is there anything I can do off of this hit? And if the answer is no, then it's fine. You're just going for like the burn at that point, for like a safe quote-unquote off angle hit. And then these other angles, this is again what I do. I just lab it out like, oh, I can combo off this, but it's a lot more risky. So if I'm going for this type of combo, then okay, the very far hit is just definitely a safe burn. But if I'm close to them, then I can actually do funny things with that. And then obviously, again, you always have the center hit, but going for a 4-way is very dangerous just because projectiles will cancel Magic Claw, Step Slash, Auto Slash will cancel Magic Claw, and a lot of faster spells like Thunder will cancel Magic Claw. So going for a raw Magic Claw is super dangerous, but obviously extremely rewarding if you do hit it. So that's the labbing I do for Magic Claw, and that's why I thought it was supposed to be in there. Vivisection and Inverter are just spells that I personally really enjoy at the moment, and that's why those 2 cards are in there. I won't say that they're necessarily super important for the deck, but again, it's just because I think they're pretty fun to play with, so I just have them in there. Vivisection with Saffron. Well, Vivisection basic uses obviously go up, go down, go forwards, go backwards. You can also do the funny thing that Refulgent love doing, which is Vivisection, wait a second, and then dodge, and this will really punish people that are stepping into you. Something that's Saffron specific is if you hit Vivisection and then buffer down movement and then immediately buffer Sparkler into another downwards movement, you can actually fit a Sparkler in there, which is really useful for catching people off guard. It's a bit hard to do though, because you can see I counter myself. And you can also do a thing where you move backwards immediately once and then move forwards, and you can do a little circle here. And this is all labbing that I suggest that you should be used to doing. Because Vivisection is a very high mechanical card, and it's a card that is actually very easily punished because it takes a while for everything to come out. So you have to understand the points when Vivisection is safe to use. Same thing with Inverter. Inverter is a very mechanically demanding card, so you have to understand the exact points where it's useful. Obviously, the middle is always going to be very easy to do. You just, Inverter, and if you're good, you can read the teleport section. If they're not in the middle and they're on the sides, then you can always go for the vertical movement. And then if they're playing around everything, then you can do Sparkler Step into Inverter, or you can, just throw out Inverter early and walk into them. So that's something, again, you should experiment with, because there's a lot of combos there that I don't want to go over because that would be a 30-minute video. But these are all thought processes in my head that I'm like thinking like, okay, so Inverter and Vivisection like this, they work this way with these cards. So now I'm going to go ahead and see how they interact with Step Slash. So with Inverter or Step Slash, Vivisection, you can do Step, Vivisection, and then dodge. Now there's a huge gap there, but your opponent might try and punish your step, and they might run into the Vivisection. Saffron has a thing where if you use Vivisection and W1 at the same time, then dodge, you can actually do a true combo like that. So you can extend that to Step Slash, where if you're really fast, you can do the same thing again. Obviously, walk down to the very end. But yeah, you can do it there too. And then doing what I mentioned earlier with the Vivisection walk into W1, you can again do an off angle Vivisection, you can do an off angle Step Slash into a Vivisection, then press W1, and because you're going backwards diagonally, you won't get hit by yourself. And so that's why I ran Vivisection with Step Slash, because there are interactions that benefit Saffron with these spells that I consider core on her kit. And so because of that, obviously mechanically demanding, but now you know why I have this spell, even though it might seem a bit off. Step Slash with Inverter is very odd because, again, you can't really combo off of that. It's going to be 3 mana, like 3 mana, a lot of damage, which kind of sucks. But if your opponent's in the center, then there is a combo where if you're, again, from the back, you can do the Vivi or inverse combo like that. If they're further back so they can't hit them, you can actually hit the Inverter and then move up immediately. And then that will also be a combo there. You can also do the cute thing where you press W2 if they're in particular areas for that. But this is just how you would use Inverter in this scenario. Obviously, from back here, I wouldn't really recommend Inverter. I would just go for W1 and then use another spell, because the reason why I have all these spells is because Inverter won't be your only spell there. So it's like, oh, I have only Vivisection, then I'll do that. If I have All Slash, I use All Slash, Thunder, Magic Claw, etc. They all combo in the back there, but Inverter doesn't really work. So there's a point there where Inverter isn't the best, but again, you're just working around that. And then push slash with Vivisection isn't the greatest, but you can use it to, you can use push slash and Vivisection to like kind of punish your opponent for not really paying attention. They're like, oh, I gotta avoid Vivisection. Oh, they have push slash. I didn't even notice that, because you can hide push slash under your hand. So it's like, oh, you see push slash is in your third slot, so you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna make them and they have like push slash as well. So you're gonna use Vivisection, make them think about something else, and then push slash them, and that's something you can do. There's not really a true combo with it anymore, but that's fine. Like, you have ways to mind game around it. And then push slash with Inverter. Obviously, Inverter, if they're kind of in the back, so let's say here, you can Inverter into push slash. You can always also press Inverter with push slash at the same time. I don't know how the timing works, but yeah, you can see there that I can do this combo as well. Try to see if I can do it again. It might be a little too hard. Yeah, like you can do that if you're really mechanically gifted, and then if they're on the top and you want to do the thing again, right, like run to the bottom, you can even mash push slash and teleports them up there, which can be really disorienting for your opponent. And so again, reasons why I run these spells all with this package, because they work with the package. And if you're fast, again, with Inverter, you can use Inverter into Thunder if you're really good. So like here, you can Inverter them here, and then that hits them, right? That's something you do if you're fast. Everything that works with Magic Claw will work with, anything that works with Thunder, for the most part, will work with Magic Claw. But sometimes Magic Claw is too slow. Like there you see, I only got the one hit. And then Missiletow is just like an all-around okay card, because what you do with Missiletow is that you combo it off of steps. And if you combo it off with steps, then you can usually follow it up with you can, not usually, you can sometimes follow it up with stuff like Magic Claw if they're really close. Now, if they're too far away, Magic Claw is too slow. You see it's gap 3, so they can shield it, which is still really good pressure. But just be aware that you're using Missiletow because it's really good with steps. As you can see there, again, soft hit, not really a true combo. And then if you don't have steps, then what you can do with Missiletow instead is you can use Saffron W1. Again, same thing as earlier, where you just use Sparkler Step or Sparklers to cover your Missiletow cast, because Missiletow is pretty laggy. Anything you can do to make the cast safer, like using Sparkler, will make it easier to hit and land. And then obviously, if you hit Missiletow, then sometimes you can even get a cheeky Thunder off of it. You can see there, it's a bit of a tight squeeze to get Thunder in, but just be aware that you're running these spells because they all work off each other. And so if you don't know how they work off each other, then your deck's gonna be a lot worse, right? So anyways, video went a bit longer than expected. Again, I'll try and make timestamps as I watch the video myself later, but no editing and all that. Let me know if this is helpful. I can try and make these lower effort videos more often if it's still as informative as usual. Just because it saves me a lot of time with uploading everything, right? So anyways, have a good day or night wherever you are. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.